It does. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Who knows? I don't know technology. Technology's crazy. I'm ready for the robots to take over.
Me too. I'm just ready to not have to work.
Hey, it is that time of year where the sun no longer reaches our Earth for long periods of time, and all I want to do is nap. Yeah. It's a fact.
Just dark all the time.
Have you been...
Up here in Canada.
Oh, he said it, folks. He's finally let it loose.
I'm finally admitting it.
It just
took me 6 episodes.
Took the holiday season and goodwill towards people. And the jingle jangle of bells.
Are you... I guess it's too late to not be done. Well, it's not too late to not be done your Christmas stuff, right?
Oh, God, no. People go Christmas Eve. I personally...
I stepped outside.
You stepped outside? Is it
Go
cold?
ahead. I stepped outside and there's just like people hustling and bustling around, like trying to doing last minute stuff.
It is a mixture, right? Because it's like, I feel like if you have a tradition of going out on the week of, it can be a traditional thing and like an excitement of holiday season. I personally don't like the general public, so I like to get things done earlier so I don't have to be a part of the hustle and bustle. I also... Well, I just don't... I buy most of my stuff online because I travel to family, so it's easier for me to ship it to said family.
And then they are not allowed to peek? No peeking?
Yes. Well, usually I'll bring it here to my hometown, and then we go see people in the car, so I can kind of like... yeah, that type of thing. So I'm all wrapped.
Wrap it in the car.
Wrap it in the car. I'm all wrapped. I think I have a couple other things to do, but I have some friend gifts, but I don't see them until the New Year, so I got time. Well...
I think I don't have time, but I don't need time.
You don't need time.
I just gotta wrap stuff.
It's fine. Yeah. Just put...
Have you heard about the big storm that's coming? I
heard, yes. It's shut down Vancouver Airport. People are... Hopefully.
What are they going to do?
Well, people are just stuck at the airport, and some people can't travel till Christmas Day.
Oh, damn.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm taking a train, so hopefully...
Oh, trains are good.
Trains
are fine in the wind. Yeah, they're fine. It's the planes that can't have moisture on their wings because they go up into the atmosphere where it freezes, and it might damage the plane. The train just chills in the same atmosphere that you do, so.
Plow in the snow.
Yeah. And plus it's going so fast, it just gets rid of the snow completely. I think the only thing that stops a train is, like, intense freezing rain, but it has to be under, like, specific circumstances.
Or a damsel tied to the tracks, perhaps.
Yes. One of those classic tales of do you save 1 or do you save 5?
Oh, yeah. What's that? The train trolley problem? The trolley problem?
The trolley problem.
Would you pull the thing?
Here's the thing. I would probably pull it to kill 1 person instead of 5. But I would first ask if there was backstories of each of the persons.
Oh, like you do like an interview.
Yeah, like
we don't have much time.
But then also, who am I to judge? You know what I mean? Like, people make mistakes in their life that they're redeemable.
You have the thing in your hand. You have the control.
But they're like, well, all 5 of these people shoplifted. And it's like, all right, did they do it in their youth? Was it because someone was starving and they needed bread? You know, like, and then...
What about their future potential?
Exactly. Everyone deserves somewhat of a chance to at least show that they have redeemable qualities. But who am I? I'm only someone who researched John Quincy Adams on time and not early.
You studied it exactly when you're supposed to.
Exactly. No, I did not skip a president.
And he was never supposed to be my president.
The fates chose. And
I have been, I of course always take a little quick peek at the Wikipedia page before we start, and it says he was a Whig. And
he was a Whig.
Is he the first Whig? The first Whig ever. So what is a Whig? Do you know what that is?
I do, actually. It's funny you ask. they basically they supported majoritively entrepreneurs, professionals, planters. They seem to be, I think, more towards the like working class and like the middle class people. So I think what was happening is they had a bit of a coming from the war and coming from new settlers. I think America started to develop and classes started to kind of come out. And
the middle class.
I don't think I forget which president it started to be an actual vote, because I think the first 3 or 4 presidents, it was all voted internally. So now he was basically, that party, I think, came to be because he had a public that was watching who the presidents were now and were interested.
It says here that in his 2 terms, the first term he ran as a Democratic Republican, and then the
Yes.
second term as
A Whig.
oh, wait a minute. He says a National Republican. The Whigs, okay, maybe he wasn't
I
officially a
don't
Whig.
think he was officially a Whig. I think he started, I forget what you just said, the National Republic. And then by the time the second person came into power, they officially named it the Whig. And so historically, they just call him a Whig because he was they didn't have a name for it yet. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says he didn't affiliate himself as a Whig until after he was president. So.
Exactly. As much as
That's
we had our own, banter back and forth, we just thought we were friends. Turns out we're podcast co-hosts, but we didn't know that until we're 6 episodes in, That's how it works.
True.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing my wig.
I'm not wearing my wig. That's kind of crazy.
What?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. I took it off.
Yeah, the audience doesn't know, but we dress up as president, like costume. I always dress up in my presidential outfit.
Yeah. I lost my wig on the train, but I like the way the shiny Christmas lights shine off my bald head, though.
Of course. Oh yeah, I'm also bald too.
So we both shaved our heads so we could wear different presidents' wigs in solidarity until we find our friend.
And our eyebrows.
Yes, of course. I slowly did it. Like, I left, like, half of an eyebrow just to see what it looks like, and then I did the rest of it.
Well, I just waxed it all.
Wow, you're brave. Well, my favorite fact...
I'm an excellent artist, so...
An excellent, like, wax artist? Or just artist in general?
No, with a mascara pen.
Got it. He's a beautician. Got it.
Esthetician.
Sure.
Okay, so tell me what do you know about John Quincy Adams? We know he's the son.
He's the son.
Is he the
John
son,
Adams.
or-
He's the son.
Okay.
I misquoted myself last time. I thought brother, but no incest involved here. Just son. Son only. He was an American statesman, diplomat, lawyer, and diarist. And he
is that
served as
someone
the
who
sixth
writes
president.
a diary?
A diarist, you say? Yes, indeed. I like to think that he wrote in his diary of like, "Dear diary, Quincy here.
Dear diary.
I think George Washington
Today-
was a dreamboat, or at least that's how I imagined it."
I saw that he named his kid after George Washington, so he must have had a high opinion of it.
I think
And I
he-
also saw that guy killed himself. Spoilers.
That I don't know about. You've gone beyond my...
Ouch.
Knowledge.
I had to go onto another page. I'm like, whoa.
Is that the Darknet?
George Washington Adams. He was apparently, well, I'll learn. I don't know what I'm talking about. Went to Harvard, liked alcohol, it says.
And this was a man named
Killed himself.
George Adams?
George Washington Adams.
Wow. What
And it
year
says
was
here
this?
he was, he's even in office. So he was born in 1801 and he died at 1829.
Jesus.
It says here that he okay, check this out. Adams disappeared on April 30th, 1829, while on board the steamship Benjamin Franklin in Long Island Sound during passage from Boston to Washington, D.C. He was last seen at about 2 a.m., and his hat and cloak were found on deck, leading to the conclusion that he had intentionally jumped. His body washed ashore on June 10th. An alcoholic, Adams had left notes hinting that he intended to kill himself. He had appeared to be delusional while on the ship, asking the captain to return to shore and declaring that the other passengers were conspiring against him. The consensus in news accounts of the time, and among historians subsequently, is that he died by suicide by drowning after he jumped from the Benjamin Franklin. Wow.
And did he have any relation to, like, is he the son or grandson of, like, Quincy Adams? Or he just, like, was...
He's the son of Quincy Adams and the grandson of John.
Wow. I wonder if it was the pressure of, like, his forefathers of, like, I'm not going to live up to, nor do I want to be in politics. Wow.
The family business of being president of the United States.
It's true. It is a business, that's for sure. I also thought of a name for one of our viewers that we both know. Or I guess listeners.
We were talking about it last week, but we never... our super fan.
Our super fan.
Our biggest fan is what she said.
But I need
Which doesn't
to find...
mean much.
So... The original, I think we should name this person the first lady. Because then...
Oh, that's good.
Because then it's...
Yeah, the first lady.
But you have to name it the first lady. Because I believe that was Dolly Madison.
Dolly... was that her... I can't remember her last name. I don't think it was Madison.
Was it Madison?
Dolly...
Because remember there was that one...
I remember it being a cooler name than Dolly.
Me too.
Madison.
Anyways, there was a specific name, but I do like the idea of just doing it first lady, so it's not a name. So we have apartment dad and first lady. Then we can reference to them in kind ways without revealing their crimes.
Their crimes of knowing us.
Exactly. Yeah. And still engaging with us.
Dolly... Oh, it is... What was their first name? Dolly Todd.
Dolly Todd. Okay, so...
Dolly Todd Madison. Dolly Todd Payne. That was her original
maiden name.
Maiden name. It's a good name.
Yeah. Well, John Adams... He was the eldest son of John Adams. Sorry, we're going back to Quincy Adams. Just confused myself there. Loving it.
Getting confused again.
I was like, I'm sorry. I had a small panic attack in milliseconds there that I thought I had done a bunch of research on John Adams and I was about to lose it, that I had completely burned this podcast to the ground.
Going all the way back to episode 2.
I know, right? So, John Quincy Adams was the eldest son of John Adams, who served as the second president. Quincy was born in Braintree, Massachusetts, and spent most of his youth in Europe.
Oh, Euro trip.
Euro trip.
Were they at war yet, or when did you squeeze that Euro trip in before or after the war?
Well, he was there in his youth, and he was president, I believe, during the War of 1812.
John Quincy Adams was?
Or was it the end of it? It was really hard to look at his stuff because he was partially involved with a lot of that war, even though he wasn't president.
He says he started in 1817 in office, so I don't know when.
So he was at the tail end. Got it. Yeah. So he was only in Europe for his youth, so before the war even happened, and then did a bunch of stuff for the war while he was in office before he became president.
Oh, sorry. He was. Sorry, I'm confused.
Okay.
Whatever.
He was a teen.
He was Secretary of State in 1817.
Yes. So he was a teen man. He was a man of his youth in Europe. Mm-hmm. He then came to the States and became Secretary of State during the war, and then became the President of the United States.
This guy did a lot of stuff. I'm looking at all.
So much.
He was president. He was Secretary of State, Dean of United States House of Representatives.
Yep. He returned to America, where he started a successful legal practice and appointed to be a diplomat of the Netherlands. George Washington appointed him to do so. So I would assume that's during when George was president. Who knows? Quincy was very much involved in the White House.
I don't think he would have been born yet, would he have been?
I don't know. I gotta look at the dates. It just says that George Washington appointed him, so I'm like, what? From the grave? In Did John Quincy have a dream?
The cradle.
From the cradle? It's like, one day, sir, you will be the diplomat of the Netherlands.
17. Okay, no, he was older than I thought he would be. He's an old guy.
Yeah. He did a lot.
40, 50.
Yeah, he was a lawyer.
These Adams guys, they live long lives.
They love politics, man. I think that's what kept them going. It was their lifeblood.
Yeah, and then they had George Washington Adams, and he's like, well, I can't live up to this. I wonder what he wanted to do with his life other than
a dentist.
A dentist, yeah.
A dentist, yes.
George Washington.
But James Monroe appointed Quincy to Secretary of State as well. So he was basically like, for the last 5 presidents, he was in there. He was part of the club. You know, he was
climbing up the ladder.
He was wearing pink on Wednesdays. He was showing up. He was following all the rules.
Playing by it. But it also seems like he was also kind of pushing back against... It says here he also, like his father, he didn't believe in slavery.
Nope.
Do you know anything about that?
I don't.
I
don't know about that. I know that I think because of what his... him being a Whig and being a part of that working class society, I think there were basically was the like first murmurations of like a new outlook on what their American state could look like continually breaking away from that British imperialistic and with slavery and stuff like that, because that's really what the slavery came over with England when they conquered everywhere. And so they just were continuing to kind of do it. I think a lot of people were like, why are we still following this imperialistic way? We are our own people. We are new. But then they just made the prison system, which is basically the same thing.
Did they?
Well,
I think that this guy...
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's a hot take.
I think this guy might be up for the running of my new favorite so far.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely above average from what we've been learning about.
Yeah, those Virginia boys.
It's all about that Massachusetts.
The Virginia dynasty.
Dynasty.
Massachusetts must have been where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Braintree.
Here we
go. Let's take a look at his Indian policy. This could be tarnish his
Before
name.
you get into that, this is my last point. Is just that he negotiated, I think it's the Adams-Onis Treaty, which basically allowed America to...
Onus?
I think it's pronounced Onis, O-N-I-S.
Onus or bonus? Onus, yeah.
I think it's Onis, which basically let them buy Florida, which I believe happened during our last president, but he was a part of that negotiation to buy Florida.
Good for playing golf, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Disney's there.
Retiring.
Universal's there.
Crocodiles.
The Keys.
Alligators.
Florida Man.
What's with Florida? Why do all the old people go there?
I think it's warm, and it's like the strip mall of America.
Sure. And I guess like once one old person's there, another comes, and they all just have a good old time.
Well, and the infrastructure's there too, right? So you're like, if I want to go rent a cabin for a summer for a decent price, Florida's like, we've been doing that. Come on down.
Mm-hmm. Come to Disney World. Have you ever been to Disney World?
Yes, sir.
I haven't.
A couple of times.
But wow.
Yeah, but I used to work for an airline, so it is an interesting.
Oh yeah, I did know.
Yeah, and so I got to go there cheap, and I had friends who had family that lived like across the street from it, so I had the inside track. Did
you get to see Walt under the castle?
No, that's
cryogenically frozen.
That's the thing. They don't like to talk about it. We've talked about this before. The conspiracy's real. They don't talk about it.
Sorry.
It is a weird mix of like you are fully aware that this is like a completely like commercialized place where like everything costs like an obscene amount of money, but it is the most magical place at the same time. So like underneath
that's
you're like
magic premium.
Yeah, I'm like I should hate this, but then you're like, man, their water or their like manholes are in the shape of Mickey Mouse. Like every single detail is like perfectly done. So much so that they have like smell-o-vision there where they'll like release like incense to like smell like cookies or like mint. So that you're just like constantly in the atmosphere of Disney.
You're looking at a picture of a cookie, or no. They just like spray cookie smells.
They just smell cookie smells everywhere, so it just like smells lovely while you're there.
Couldn't they just make cookies?
true. But then this way you don't have to waste all that flour. They still also make cookies, and you can buy those. Yeah.
Wait, so they're making cookies, and then they're also spraying cookie smells?
Yep. Just to keep you immersed in the magic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Sounds like a lot of work.
It is,
being the most magical place on earth.
But man, do they make money.
Do you know that there was almost a time when Disney went bankrupt? Do you remember, what was it called? John something? No.
Oh.
What was it called?
Lasseter?
John Carter.
Oh, no.
John
okay.
Carter.
Okay, John Carter. Yeah.
I'm assuming you haven't seen the movie?
No. Because
Neither
that name
did
is
anyone else.
Wait, sorry. The remake John Carter movie where it was the guy who was a barbarian who went back in time.
I haven't seen it either.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, I think it. You have? It's like I don't know. I haven't seen it either.
He's like an 1800s British man or American that visits. And he's kind of Tomb Raider where he's investigating these runes. Then he gets jettisoned to a different time.
Maybe. Is there aliens in it?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's it.
I'm not surprised. It wasn't that
apparently. No, it wasn't. Yeah, and I think don't take my word for it, but I think they almost went bankrupt with that turd of a movie, which I haven't seen.
Well, speaking of turds of a movie, the latest Avatar one's out too, which is that's a fun thing to watch.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard rumor that they were expecting to make I think $2 billion in their opening box weekend.
Oof.
And they only made $500 million, which is still a decent amount of money. But not compared to...
what did... Case, imagine let's do some role-playing. You're James Cameron.
Yeah. I love blue
director
people.
of Titanic.
Yep.
You made the hit sensation
Avatar.
Blue Pocahontas back in 2009.
Yeah.
Everyone saw it twice.
Everyone loved it. They're going to love it. I'm going to make 5 more of these. They're going to love it.
Groundbreaking visual effects. Set the standard for decades to come.
Yeah. A great testing
Now you're
zone.
making a second one.
Yeah.
Sell it to me, James.
It's going to take 13 years, but it's going to be great. We're going to go underwater.
Whoa.
We're going to talk to alien
Oh, sorry,
whales.
is that it? Alien whales.
Yeah, we're going to go. It's all about family. He's going to have kids. He's going to adopt a human kid.
How does it? Oh, I guess he could have kids, right? Wait,
yeah.
Is this actually what it's about?
This is all from the trailer, and I'm all basing this off the trailer.
He adopts a human kid?
He adopts a human kid. He has kids because basically his avatar...
Well, he is human.
He is human, but he becomes fully avatar alien at the end of the first Avatar.
In the first Avatar, is his avatar? Is that what they're called? No.
Yeah.
Is this avatar?
What's
is
the
it
name?
using his DNA?
Yes, and because man, I haven't seen this movie in 13 years. I'm surprised I remember all this. Because
I saw it twice in theaters.
Because his twin brother was supposed to pilot it.
Right.
But his twin brother died, so he took his place because he's in a wheelchair. And then for the first time, he walks and is like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then obviously he falls in love.
I remember him running.
Yeah, and he's just running.
Nairi.
And then what
Did you just go boing?
No, but I think I was doing What's the name of the race of those aliens? I don't remember. There's a name for them. They're not Avatar.
They're the Na'vi?
Na'vi?
Are they Na'vi?
So he meets the Na'vi woman and he falls in love. And then during that G.I. Joe man who's in the mech suit tries to destroy everything.
Yeah. Scarface.
In that process of him Scarface, yeah. Al Pacino reprises his role. He stops them, and then that magical tree is like, "Thank you for saving the Na'vi. You now can be this.
Magical tree.
This you are now together in your consciousness of your human you and alien have combined."
Oh, so what did they do with his old body? His wheelchair
I think he just
body?
put it in a closet.
I don't remember that part. Can he still access it? What if he wants
I don't
to
know.
do human things? What if he needs to squeeze through a small
I think
crack?
he was like, "I'm good. I found my family."
Accessible? Oh, so he's completely. Oh, okay. So
I think.
So he adopts a human kid. He could have
And then
just had
from
a human kid.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Hey, here's the thing. I could be completely wrong in the things that I'm saying. I have no facts to back this up. This is just from what is in the brain bank. And also, I'm basing it off the trailer as well.
My mother and I have arranged to see it over the holidays. So I'll tell you. I'll give you all the
next episode. You give me give me your
details.
review.
Yeah, I'll give you a deep throat review of Avatar 2. Way of the Water, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Blue Crush. Avatar, Blue Crush.
Blue Crush. A Point Break. Avatar. They could really have done... Oh, I haven't seen it yet, but I imagine it won't live up to the first one. What are the stakes? What's the...
I think it's an interesting... 13 years is a long time to wait for a sequel.
Don't they have like 5 Avatar movies lined up?
Yeah. Now, in theory...
What happens if they've already made them?
Yeah.
I've heard.
That's what's taken the 13 years is they wanted to make it back to back.
Yeah. Why would they do that? What if the second one's garbage?
Well, yeah, I know. I don't know. I guess they were thinking it would save on production money because they're like, if we pay the actors for a year and film like everything for the 5 movies in a year, and all we have to do is the CG for the rest, then we're set.
True.
Yeah.
The cool thing about that too is you just have to have them act in a room and then you can just direct it afterwards.
Yeah, because they're all in those
Pretty
like
cool. Morph suits.
Yeah, the morph suits
No,
with the what's it called? The motion
mocap.
mocap. Thank you.
Is that what they use?
Yeah, they have those like the dots and then the camera. Mm-hmm. Schmeagol.
We should do a podcast like that. Virtual reality.
In virtual reality. Mm-hmm. Oof. We'll
do that for the last one.
Okay.
End on a bang.
I'd always get stuck in the character creating section though. Like I'd want to create like a sick ass avatar though. I could be an avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll both be avatars.
That's opening us to a weird zone.
And then after the episode's done, we'll merge with our avatars and dispose of our bodies in real life. Are you sure that happened? I don't remember.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm now second guessing myself. But for some reason,
if I see this movie and I see his actual body, I'm gonna be like,
Well, Dutch is on the sauce again. She's talking madness,
drinking her Christmas drink.
I'm drinking my rum nog, feeling good.
Nog.
Merry Chrysler, Happy Christmas. Well, to bring it back.
We talked about Avatar way too much.
Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, William H. Crawford, and Henry Clay were all members of the Democratic Republic Party, aka they're all Whigs.
So how did the Whigs? So the Whigs came from the Democratic Republicans?
Yes. So it started with Quincy Adams, and then those are the other presidents that were a part of that same grouping.
Why did they break off? Do you know?
I think it was the changing of the country. Like they were like, man, we got a lot of we've got working class people. The war is done. We finally got the English to hit the road, and let's start to like make our own country. So I think their current or whatever the legal legislation was before that was still very close to the imperialistic way. So the Whigs were like, let's not do that. Let's do this instead. And so that's why they came through. The crazy thing that I found out as well is, I'm skipping ahead of myself, maybe. They weren't a fan of the Freemasons. They were anti-Masonic party.
I was, I don't know how much I should say here, but I know somebody who went on a date and then they were a Freemason.
I think we've had this conversation.
Did I tell you this? Oh, yeah. You probably know who I'm talking about then, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much I should say then, because this is... Am I gonna? I don't know enough about the Freemasons to start trash talking them on it.
So, my grandfather and my uncle were a part of the Freemasons as well. What do they do? So
You can't be. You're a woman.
I'm a woman. I have no nothing. I did go as a kid / young adult to a couple like Christmas party family gatherings that they hosted, and like everyone was invited to those. From my perspective, because I'm from a small town, a lot of
Canada.
small town Canada, a lot of the Freemasons in those areas are just basically a like club for men, and then also people of the
Like
community.
the Knights of Columbus.
Kinda, yeah. So like my uncle.
So what, do they believe in anything?
As far as what I witnessed, no, it wasn't like religious.
They believe in laying bricks.
They were just like, let's
that
just
simple.
come together. And I think what it just became this like weird traditional thing where it's like, it used to be, I'm a farmer, you're a farmer, that's a blacksmith, that's a carpenter. Let's all come together in like a meeting space once a month, hang out, and then be like, hey, Jim John down the road's fence is broken. You're a carpenter. Why don't you fix it? I'll make sure to give you extra wheat this year. And so it was like a weird like trading community of like just helping the community out and like coming together and figuring that out. But I think
that doesn't sound controversial. Why would anyone be against that?
No.
Like, why would?
But I think what happened is when you took it out of the like little nucleus of a quaint little small town, it became now more of a conspiracy matter of like Illuminati, and like now we're in the big city. Hey, I'm going to do you a favor. Don't vote for Quincy Adams in the coming up election. Like that's what I think it started corrupting in that way.
From what I know about the Freemasons, it doesn't sound like it has a centralized is that might not always have been the case.
No.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like I don't see a problem with it.
And it becomes and unless the like government of this new America was worried that this small community was going to like overtake what they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you have this conflicting of like, I'm the president of the United States, I'm declaring this law, but then you've got a country bumpkin town that's basically saying, all right, cool, Mr. Adams, this is our law here in town because our Grand Poobah said so. And like that kind of butting of heads. I don't know. Yeah. It's wild.
I actually know that I'm too old to be a Mason. That's leaking information about me, but I'm not allowed. I'm washed up Dutch.
Yeah.
Unless
It is
I
crazy.
have a
I
fake
mean,
ID.
you still get... Oh, I guess my uncle... How old? I would have been... I guess to get in, you're too old.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I could just pretend I've always been in, no?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
usually get like
I've always been.
like you get a
You get a
gavel.
card?
You get a gavel and you get
A gavel, I can make a gavel.
and you get an apron and I mean my grandfather had a photo of himself, but I think that was just they did a photo
I
shoot.
have that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can take one.
Yeah. My what's crazy that I hate, it's weird that I know kind of what I'm talking about with this, but not really. They call their like, I think they rotate leaders in the community and they call themselves Grand Poobah. And like you are the like if there's ever a dispute between two people, you decide who gets what in whatever situation, but you get this gavel to like sit and like hit. And my uncle has a gavel that has the year that my grandfather was the Grand Poobah and then his years on it. And there's also somebody else that's connected to us who is a part of the Freemasons who also has a sword that he had made with the insignia.
And I know this person?
You do.
Should I know who this person is? Like, from what you're telling me? Is it apartment dad?
It's not apartment dad.
Is it the first lady?
It's not the first lady.
That's
I guess
who else would it be? We gotta create another code name then.
it is. I don't want to say God in our scenario of
God.
what we do.
Whoa!
But
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. That is the person.
God has a sword.
God has a sword.
Is
yes.
God a Freemason?
God is a Freemason. Yeah.
Sorry that I know who you're talking
about. I know. And
what do you think? So, should we be talking about God on this podcast?
I mean, no one
May he
knows who we're
smite us
talking
down.
about.
That's true. What
But
are your
I've seen
thoughts
a
on
sword. I've
God?
seen a sword.
Are you agnostic? Are you
Yeah.
atheist in
I think
so
because
to speak?
agnostic is I'm not subscribed to any religion, but I'm not saying there's not a God. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm that. Because I feel like...
Are we talking in the analogy in this sense, or are you...
Are you asking me if I'm actually agnostic, or are you asking me...
No.
Oh.
If you're actually... Yeah, not actually. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Are you saying... Are you asking me if I believe in the God as in the person that we know? Or are you asking me just about religion?
Do you believe that person exists? How did you find out about this sword?
I think it came up...
While also leaking as little information as possible.
Yeah, I think it came up during a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about, I think, my grandfather being that. Mm-hmm. And then it went into BRB, I gotta go get something, to then showing said sword.
Isn't this supposed to be
a really cool
society?
Sword. I don't,
this is
honestly,
supposed to be a secret society, though. Why is everyone so
I don't think it is a secret society.
Sword?
I think there's I think there might be a chapter that's a secret society, but like from my understanding of it, it's not a secret society. Because they would have a Christmas party where they would invite everyone's like families, and like we would go to like the community center and like do a fundraiser for like or a gala to like donate money back into the community. So like my experience of it is very just like a fun clubhouse to like give back to your fellow farmers. But then
fellow farmers,
yeah. But then you got national.
How does that apply to? Oh yeah, that's how most of my knowledge comes from, unfortunately. So I might just be going in blind based off.
So
Nicholas
you're
Cage.
an anti-Masonic party. Masonic.
Well, I don't have a strong opinion. I'm not.
You're agnostic.
I just don't see what all the hubbub is about Freemasons.
I'd have to go in deep. I don't know a lot about the conspiracy part of it or why it is. There could be a very valid reason.
That's what. Here's another thing. Completely, it's irrelevant, but not really. The Hell's Angels. What are they? What did they do that's so bad?
I mean, I guess there's a biker gang that, but again, also, this is, I've also had family members who knew the Hells Angels.
You know someone in that too? Oh my goodness.
I don't know them personally.
You're so connected.
But I have cousins and friends, who know people in the Hells Angels, and again, would just do, like, ride-alongs or, like, did donates to the community, but I do think, I don't know if you've ever watched Sons of Anarchy.
Mm-hmm. I haven't, but I've heard of it.
I would say is very, very similar to the Hells Angel, at least in their persona. From what I've seen, is like they are a power gang, and they probably do illegal things, but to kind of balance the scales, as you would, they do community service and like donate money to certain people in need to kind of like maybe skirt by some legal issues they may have. But I believe at one point they were considered a gang, so an organization that would not abide by the rules, and because they had a lot of numbers in their gang, they could not get arrested in a way. And became the boogeyman.
Gang.
Okay, call it the President's.
We should start our own gang.
The President's gang?
The Prezzies.
The Prezzies? Ooh, like that doesn't sound very intimidating, though.
Well, it's how you say it.
That's true.
You just gotta say it with...
I feel like if you said it with a Cockney accent, you could...
The Prezzies.
Hey-yo.
Hey, love. Stay back with the Prezzies. We'll fuck you up.
We got razor blades in our hats.
Yeah, we stick our hair back with Crisco.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try 3 for 3. Do you know anyone who is in the Illuminati?
No.
Oh.
No.
I don't. Do you think the Illuminati is real?
I don't know.
I know nothing about what I'm talking about, but...
Because, like, I could see them being a, like, kind of boogeyman story to, like, freak people out. But I don't know if they actually exist or not.
Well, if any of our listeners Our Illuminati, please message us.
But maybe I'm saying that because I'm a part of the Illuminati and I can't tell you if I am,
maybe
right?
it's the only real secret society.
Exactly. Maybe, so it's like my connections with the Freemasons, the Hells Angels, just brought me to the Illuminati, and here I am just trying to take you down.
Me? What did I do?
No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Sometimes I listen to Jay-Z.
That's not, that's not bad.
Who else is famously listens? Who else is in the Illuminati famously?
Tom Cruise?
Is Beyonce?
Well, Tom Cruise is in Scientology.
Oh, yeah, that's its own can of worms.
Yeah.
Have you, do you know, that the main guy, what's his name? Something or other?
I just watched a drunk history on it as well. And I'm sad that I've forgotten.
Oh, yeah, I love drunk. I think that what we kind of do is drunk history.
Yeah, we're just less informed than the people that talk about it.
Yeah, and we don't have the budget, and we don't act it out.
That's true. Soon. We're going to take a little small moment of silence while I ASMR.
The movie.
Just a second here.
You are? Oh, you're opening a can again?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll follow it up with exactly what I did last week.
Wait, let me do the sip. I'll do the pour. It's great because you can't hear this. It's on my other recording.
I'll hear it later. I'll hear it when I'm editing. I wouldn't mind mixing another drink. Do you think we could pause? Or we could... I can actually walk and talk.
Yeah, walk and talk. Here, I got some spiel. I got some more stuff to read / say in a voice that sounds like I'm not reading things. So, we talked about the Whigs. We talked about the Freemasons. We talked about my connections with definitely not the Illuminati. The Whig base of support was centered among entrepreneurs, professionals, planters. Talked about that. Quincy also led the repeal of the gag rule, which had prevented the House of Representatives from debating petitions to abolish slavery. As we talked before, he was definitely against slavery, and he basically repealed the rule.
So what?
So
the rule, it's like, is it like a filibuster kind of thing?
Yeah, so the gag rule basically that was put into place is no one in the House of Commons or the administration could talk about. They weren't allowed to talk about it. They're like, no,
in the room.
Yeah, no one can talk about it. So he repealed it.
He got rid of that.
He got rid of that, and he said, "All right, now we can talk about it. Did
he do that while he was president?
While he was president, yeah.
Oh, okay. I respect that.
Yeah.
Now that's putting your power to use.
The first stone cast, so that Abraham Lincoln later down the road could basically be like, "We're done, folks." Historians concur that Adams was one of the greatest diplomats and secretaries of state in American history. They typically rank him as an average president, which I feel like people who are judging this are rough. Average. I would say above average, personally.
Yeah. The last guy was above average, and he did nothing.
I know, right? And I would say probably a lot of stuff that he did do was because John Quincy Adams was Secretary of State. And, doing stuff.
What did he do? He got Florida? Who did they get Florida from, the Spanish?
I believe so, yeah.
Was there Aboriginal tribes in Florida?
There had to have been.
Yeah, America certainly killed a lot.
Oh yeah.
I'll be right back.
Oh yeah. What else was I saying? He had an ambitious agenda, but could not get passed in Congress. That's the only reason why they gave him, I guess, not an above average, just an average, because there was still more stuff that he wanted to do that he wasn't able to do.
Like what?
I don't know. It didn't say what he wanted to do, but just, I guess, in their notes and diary that he wrote, they're like, man, this guy really wanted to change America, but didn't have the people to back him to do it. He did publish some essays in Britain. Yeah, in 1791, he wrote a series of, this is a big word for Dutch, pseudonymously published essays arguing that Britain provided a better governmental model than France. 2 years later, I can't really hear you when you're far away. You're very echoey, so the recording probably can hear you, but I can't, and I'm not going to try and answer.
Did he have a fake name if he was pseudonymous?
I guess. Maybe his nickname was Deep Throat. That was the original Deep Throat. Who knows?
Who is the Humphrey Bone Digger. What was that guy? Who was that again?
Excuse me?
Was that his father?
I don't... What? Who's the what now?
Humphrey John Dogger?
Are you trying to say Beauregard?
No.
What's happening?
There was... One of the presidents that we talked about before had a fake name. Jogger?
Oh.
Who was that? Oh, yeah, Humphrey Plowjogger. Okay, so John Adams had a fake name, Humphrey Plowjogger.
Yeah.
Did John Quincy have a...
Maybe he
alias?
was Plowjogger Jr.?
Yeah, and that's why he was pseudonymous. We're like, we know that Plowjogger was your dad. These Adams guys, they're good stock. I like them.
Yeah.
I think this guy's my new favorite.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going on for him too. I think that's why I was so excited when I was researching it last week, where I was like, I can't wait to talk about John Quincy Adams. Oh, oopsies.
Oh, whoops, we skipped. Did he have a wife?
He did.
He must have had a wife because he had a kid.
Wow, that's
Tell me
like
about her.
We've connected so psychically. Louisa Catherine Johnson, the second daughter of America.
Lady.
Yeah, she was his wife that he married, or the woman that he married.
The third first lady.
She was the second daughter of an American merchant, Joshua Johnson. In April 1796, Louisa accepted Adams' proposal of marriage. Shortly after the wedding, Joshua Johnson fled England to escape his creditors, and Adams did not receive a dowry, as for apparently her dad was a bit of a crook and didn't really pay his bills when he was a merchant. Much to the embarrassment of Louisa, Adams noted in his own diary that he had no regrets about the decision to marry Louisa. So they married for love, not for money.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't need money to get married.
He's a gentleman and a scholar.
Yes.
He was a senator of Massachusetts, and he also was a minister/ambassador to Russia as well. And during the war, before the war broke out, him and the Tsar of Russia actually tried to have a meeting with England to end the war. And this was before he became president. So they were trying to, tell England to be like, let's just calm this down kind of thing.
Yeah, the thing I find funny about that is it was kind of a dumb war because it was just like the war from before.
Yeah, it was like a slow burn of just I think England thought. Well, who knows what they thought? I would assume that they're like, yeah, okay,
more land.
Okay, George Washington.
The sun never sets.
Yeah, go be President George Washington. We'll see you in 5 years. And then they got 6 years into it, and the Brits were like, all right, no more playtime. This is our country. And it's like, no.
No, we did this. We already fought over this.
That's
probably why they did it, because the sun was setting on the British Empire, and they're like,
exactly.
we gotta get this land.
Yeah. And Adams long feared that the United States would enter a war that they could not win against Britain, and by early 1812, he saw such a war as inevitable due to the consistent British attacks on American shipping, and the British practice of impressment. I feel like that's a word that I think it meant imprisonment. I don't know. I think I spelled something wrong. Who knows?
These are your notes?
Yeah, these are my notes. I don't know. I typed it.
No. It says here on the thing, impressment.
I got it right.
It says, impressment, colloquially the press, or the press gang, is the taking of men into a military or naval force by compulsion,
there you go.
or without notice.
There you go. So they're like,
conscription.
Yeah, there you go. See, I know words.
We're a genius.
In mid-1812, the United States declared war against Britain, beginning the War of 1812. And as I said before, the Tsar of Russia tried to help with the negotiations, but it wasn't until 1814 that Quincy plus some other politicians were able to sit down. The United States did not gain any concessions from the treaty, but could boast that it had survived a war against the strongest power in the world. So they didn't really win, but it kind of...
It's like, have you ever seen the movie Rocky?
Like the boxer?
Yeah. Stallone.
Yeah.
He doesn't, the movie doesn't, it ends like, he doesn't win, but he just doesn't
lose.
Black out, which is apparently a win. That sounds like the same kind of thing.
Yeah. They I think if they kept going, eventually the British would win, But I think the British were expecting to have like a 6-month war, and then it turned out to be 2 years long, or I guess a year and a half, and they were strategic about what was going on. So, and I believe that's how like, I need to look at a map. I forget what that little section is that's next to Windsor. Used to be a part of Upper and Lower Canada before Canada was a place. But the battle went all the way up there, and then they were like, all right, well, this is the border now.
Oh, really? Well, how did it eventually change? Do you know? Maybe that we're getting too ahead of ourselves.
No, that's just
obviously
till this day. That's the border. Like, we lost that part of.
Really?
Yeah, let me look at the map here. So yeah, we're Michigan. So basically, all of Michigan used to be a part of Canada. So if you drew a line from Chicago across to Cleveland, all of that little inlet there was Canada. And at the time it wasn't Canada. It was like the land of Britain up top. And the Americans pushed them all the way back. And then that's basically, I believe, the last battle. This is like coming out of my brain from history class in high school. It's wild.
Really?
And there was a famous general that died during that battle that didn't stop the war, but like put them on pause, and then the negotiations came through and they're like, all right, that's it. The war's over. This is the border. That's now America, and we don't care anymore.
When did they start calling it Canada? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Testing you here. Yeah. They probably didn't call it Canada back then, right? Did they?
It was Upper and Lower. It was more than 100 years ago. I know that. When did Canada become Canada? 1867.
And Canada means Canada, which means village.
It's true. And Toronto is the same. Toronto is home, I think.
I thought that. Someone once told me that, but I thought it was a joke, but apparently it's true.
It was in a heritage moment.
Yes.
Whoever was...
yes.
Yeah, they were...
Canadian.
There was a...
Winnie the Pooh.
Why Pooh, sir? I don't know. Just Winnie the Pooh.
I just like the name. Winnie the Pooh. It's a very inside joke. But
Yeah.
all our listeners are Canadian, so...
Yeah, and the one American.
Cool.
Yep, July 1st,
We have an
1867 is when Canada became a country.
Sorry, which year?
1867, so another, 50 years later.
So long.
Yeah.
Did we have to fight a war for that? No.
No, I think,
Did we?
as you said, the, great powerhouse of Britain started to dwindle. And I think a lot of things started
And you get Boris Johnson.
I would say not modernize, but I think it got to a point where they're like, all right, we're going to let you're now a whole other country. You do you. And
Whatever happened to England? Now they got Liz Truss.
I think she retired or she quit. Yeah.
Yeah. She
was like,
was
I'm
there
good.
for I think it was 3 weeks. She's like, oh, tough gig.
Mm-hmm. I think there was clips of her going around of we're talking about, I never back down. I'm up for this challenge. And then to her being like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah. Well, she didn't have she didn't have much I don't know. It's just I'm not going to get into it, but they're so screwed.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's also
screwed.
they left the European Union as well, right? They're not a part of the...
Yeah, I think that's the main reason they're so fucked now. It's
Yeah.
just because, and also the people who are in charge are rich and they're trying to preserve their own wealth, and then
Right.
people are just not buying it, and then their bond market almost crashed, all their pensions.
Jesus.
Could have been us.
It is crazy
thing I don't
how
have a
much
pension.
we're still connected to them.
Yeah.
my
When are we getting our new money?
I don't
Gotta
know
get-
actually.
what's his
I
face?
think they're
What's
gonna
that guy's name? Charles?
Philip. Charles?
No.
Charles.
Philip's
Philip's son.
the dad, no. Well,
Charles,
I think they just
William.
keep renaming them the same names.
Yeah, that's
No.
yeah.
It's Charles, right?
Charles, yes, Charles.
We
Philip was
should
her
know
husband,
it.
Charles is her son, and William is her grandson. And Harry just
Princess
abdicated with Meghan Markle back to Canada.
Yep. Now I think they had a Netflix show, but it got canceled or something.
Oh no,
Silence
the documentary's out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's all on Netflix right now.
Oh.
But I feel like they had an Oprah interview at one point. I feel like I watched that.
Yeah.
It was a similar. Basically, he was like, I watched
Queen's
paparazzi.
racist.
The Queen's racist. I watched the paparazzi and the position basically kill my mother, and I see it repeating in my wife. So I'm like, I'm good. Like we're out.
Yeah,
like
get out of here.
yeah, we gotta go.
What are your thoughts on Prince Andrew, the pedophile? So that's a loaded question.
It's a very loaded question. I don't like him.
Right answer. We're getting quite political here.
Yeah.
If the royal family is political.
I'm surprised that the royal family still exists, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, that's what, like, it just seems like a joke, because, like, with no one respect, like, people had a deep respect for the Queen, but now, like,
well, that's the
now
thing.
it's,
Like when it's like a job position. Let's say you're working at Walmart, and like I've never seen in a while a Walmart greeter. Like I don't see those
Yeah.
anymore, right? So it's almost like
Yeah.
the last Walmart greeter who was like 60, 70 years old. You obviously are like, you know what? This isn't really helping our business. We'll let the job finish it off. And when Jimmy retires, that's the last Walmart greeter we have. In the similar way, I feel like she'd been doing it for 90 years. Respect the hustle, respect the drip. She did it. But now
I'll be honest with you, Charles is not a spring chicken himself.
no.
I give him, like, maybe 5 years, and then we'll have to get new money again. What's the point?
Exactly. And the amount of paperwork. Our government documentation and legislation is so much tied to Britain still. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like any
You
documentation
still have to get everything signed by them.
still signed, and you're going to have to reprint a lot of documentation in governments because it'll say in Her Majesty. So now it's going to have to say in His Majesty.
You know what I think we should do? We should have a revolution.
Yeah. Vive la France.
We can be. You can be Thomas Jefferson. I'll be. Can I be Alexander Hamilton?
Of course.
Unless you want to be Alexander Hamilton.
No, I don't know if I would pick any of them. I'd like to be like.
You want to be your own. You want to be Dutch.
Yeah, I'll just be Dutch. I'll just be an unnamed force in this revolution that we have.
I'll be Humphrey Jogger. I'll use
I think you're trying to say Humphrey Bogart, like Bogart.
Yeah, let's do it. Humphrey Bogart.
Bogart.
Plowjugger. The pen name is Plowjugger.
We got razor blades in our hats. My name's Dutch.
We're stealing their cannons and firing them with their own cannons.
We're gonna throw your tea in the river.
Yeah, and then I think that if we had a revolution that just like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Don't put us on your money.
Yeah. Let's just go back to like trading. I'd love to just like, I'm gonna trade you this pelt for that wheat.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
barter system.
Yeah.
Sounds inefficient. What happens if I don't want your wheat?
Well, then you say no trade. It's like Catan. I offer, you
I
say
just had
no.
an idea. What if we had some fungible currency that we could all we could call it money. What are your thoughts?
Dogecoin.
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 The future of
call
dog
it-
money. Man, whatever happened to Dogecoin? I guess Elon Musk.
He spent it all on Twitter.
Yeah. Have you been following that at all?
Yep.
It's a shit show.
Yep, it's been a while.
He's not, they had this guy named George Hotz, who is, like, a famous, like, programmer.
Yeah.
He jailbroke the iPhone,
Yeah.
And he had him like working there for a month, and he just quit yesterday, I believe. So he's truly fucked now.
Yeah. No, it's been I'm on Twitter. I don't tweet.
Gotta get on Mastodon. You gotta get on Mastodon, Dutch.
What's Mastodon?
It's a
Is this like a
federated social media service.
Here's the thing though, is
That
I
means-
don't engage with anything. I just lurk through Twitter just because I follow some people, and that one of my favorite thing about Twitter is you can this is a little fun fact for everybody, is you can actually follow your local police station, and the police will tweet out any activity happening around in your area. So if you follow your specific district, you'll only get like a certain radius, which I love as a single
cool.
woman living in the city. It's a nice thing to have where you just need to like check up on like what's going on in the city. It can be a bit detrimental because if like you're constantly just getting like this person was abducted, this person's missing, this is what happened. It can be whatever, but I love having that. But it's been very entertaining watching Elon Musk put his polls up of like, should I step down as...
Should I quit?
Should I quit?
Do I deserve this?
I will follow... Should Donald Trump come back to Twitter? I will follow this poll. It's like, okay. There's so many trolls out there. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it seems like a policy error on his part.
Yeah. But the latest one of them saying like you can't share other social medias on the social platform, well, in the same breath saying we are now going to be a platform for free speech is great.
I'll be honest, I deleted my Twitter this week. That was the final straw for me.
I know.
Was
Well, I
you
want to
can't
watch.
post.
Yeah.
No. I'll watch from afar.
From afar?
I don't
Okay,
need.
okay.
I don't need to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I did get my first pop-up today to sign up for Twitter Blue. So for $15
that's
a month.
$8.
15.
What?
Yeah.
What? I thought it was $8.
I think that's the exchange. But that doesn't seem correct,
Right,
right?
that makes
From 8
sense.
to 15, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
What's this?
Yeah.
It seems like it seems like bad.
Yeah.
The dollar must be strong if that's what we have to pay.
I think it's
Damn.
more... how much is Netflix right now? Like 20?
Oh,
15?
I'm not sure.
I feel like that's
I'm,
comparable to a streaming service per month. When it's like, what?
What? Do you know that this all exists on the internet for free? Not that I'm condoning piracy, because I certainly don't do that, because that's against.
Yeah, you wouldn't
law.
download a car,
But
would you?
I would download a car, and I would link a Mastodon. I'd download a car. I'd do it all, but I wouldn't because it's against the law.
Yep. I would do it in a
We're
video
past-
game.
Yeah.
Well-
I'm only virtually criminal, a virtual criminal.
There's your gang, virtual criminals.
Yeah. We
This
should
is
start
it.
a gang on the internet. This is
This is
we're
what
gonna
it
have
could.
our virtual revolution. We're in an hour. Should we? Did we give the
We got
audience
through
enough?
all of my notes.
Quincy?
I
Good.
feel like a good wrap up is that he was, I think, one of the first like presidents that was super into like politics and like legislation and being a lawyer and like a diplomat. And I think wanted to change or at least guide people in a more, maybe not positive, but like beneficial direction that he didn't probably have the full power to do so. I think paved the
Right.
way for some future presidents. So far, Quincy is my favorite.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Look at that. Finally, the throne has been dethroned by his son.
His son. His.
Who's the next one? Just so I guess that's me. I
That
get the
is
hair dude,
you.
right?
You get the hair dude, yeah. Who was the one
Andrew
that
Jackson.
Andrew Jackson, yeah.
Okay, I'll be sure to check what kind of hair product he uses. Vacant. Oh wait, vacant after December 28th. Interesting. Seems like there's a brief moment where there wasn't a president of the United States, possibly.
Awkward.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that next week. Or not next week, the week after, because we're taking next week off.
Yes, because it is the holiday times for us.
Yes. In the new year. New year, new president. New me. All right, Dutch, it was a pleasure as always. We have dethroned our new favorite president. Our old favorite president. Out
was
with
our-
the old, in
who's-
with the new.
Who was our old one? Was it
John
George?
Adams.
Just John Adams?
Well, he was mine. I don't know if you had formally declared that he was.
No,
your
I
new
guess that's
favorite.
true. So far, I guess we said with that one, it was like he'd been a breath of fresh air, seeing as he didn't have slaves.
Yes, but
Right?
he also didn't do much. Like
Yeah.
he was quite a despot.
Yeah.
But I mean, it seemed, I guess, reasonable at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
But I like this.
So
new
far, the
guy,
Adams
Quincy.
family values. Whoa! Look at that.
It's a great. Yeah, look at that.
Look at that. Well, thanks, Steve.
Na-na-na-na.
For happy holidays.
Thank you, Dutch. Happy holidays. Enjoy your vacation.
You as well.
Thanks for doing 2 presidents in a row.
Hey, you
Kinda.
got it. I'm just so dedicated.
Yeah, you just like politics and history so much.
Turns out I really like the presidential election. Soon there'll be a woman in office? Question mark.
Yeah, eventually. I think I'm hopeful number 47. That's fingers crossed. But also not likely. I'm thinking.
Maybe a solid,
But
maybe 50.
fingers crossed. Yeah, that'd be a good number.
Yeah, that's a good
I'm
betting.
Sure we could do it before then.
Surely, because
That's like 16 years from now,
exactly. Maybe I'm wrong.
or 32 for Christ's sake.
Whoa.
Well, I'd vote for you if you were American.
Aw, I'd vote for me too.
Good. We can't split the vote between us. I'll
Exactly.
vote for
I would definitely tell you I was voting for you, but then actually just vote for myself.
yourself. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair. All's fair in politics.
it's true.
All right.
Well,
Sweet dreams to
And-
all our audience and to you,
and to you, and make sure
Dutch.
to eat your vegetables this holiday season and drink an eggnog on me. A rum nog.
And ask your family members how their COVID was if you haven't seen it.
Yes.
This is a public service announcement. Good night.
This has been a Heritage Moment.